Hi friends, this is Prabhat Anand. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today we will be talking about the reproduction processes around asexual. In the previous section we had studied about the types of reproduction and the unicellular and multicellular differences. Today we will be studying about the asexual reproduction and its types. Then the term we had studied that the term reproduction refers to that process in which the organism can ensure its continuity in the world. The organism can ensure its continuity in the world. The reproduction term decides the continuity of the species in this world. Now we had studied that there were two types of reproduction. Two types of reproduction. They were the first asexual and the second sexual. Asexual and the second sexual. In the asexual reproduction we had studied that the process or the mode of reproduction in which the organism or single parent is involved under it and no fertilization occurs in this process. And in the sexual mode of reproduction we had studied that the sexual mode of reproduction involves two parents of opposite sex and there will be the fertilization of gametes, that is male gamete and the female gamete. Now the term comes that what can we say gametes? In other words, we can say gametes the reproductive cells because it takes place in the reproduction process, so we can say it reproductive cells. Other than reproductive cells we can say it sex cells or we can say it germ cells. These all are the names given to gametes, that we can say reproductive cells, sex cells and the germ cells. Now the question arises that what is the other name of gamete? Then we can say reproductive cells, sex cells or germ cell, whichever the question have MCQs in their options, we can tick the correct option. Now first of all we will be talking about the types of animals that is based on the reproductive cycles, that is oviparous and the other is viviparous. Oviparous and the other is viviparous. Now the term oviparous and viviparous, what does it mean? Oviparous simply means that organism which lays eggs. To continuity of its organism life, it lays eggs, while the viviparous refers to the term in which the organism directly give birth to their progeny or baby, we can say offsprings. If we write about the oviparous, we can say the organism lays eggs. And if we define the viviparous, in this the organism directly gives birth to their younger ones, or we can say baby, or we can say offspring, or we can say progeny. These all are the other words used for the younger ones, that is baby, offspring and progeny. Let us move on to the topic named asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. We had studied under it that asexual refers to the term in which the single parent takes place and without fertilization it gives birth to their progeny or offspring. Now, in asexual reproduction, there are 6 types or 6 methods that can be used under it. Now, the types of asexual reproduction are: asexual reproduction types. First is fission. Under it, 2 types, that is binary fission and the other is multiple fission. Binary fission and the other is multiple fission. Now, the next one is budding. Next one is spore formation. Fourth one, regeneration. And next, fragmentation. Next, that is last one, vegetative propagation. There are 6 methods that can be used under the asexual mode, that is fission, other is budding, spore formation, regeneration, fragmentation and vegetative propagation. Now, the processes used by or the animals that use the method fission, method budding, spore formation, regeneration, fragmentation and vegetative propagation, we will be talking further in these topics. Now, the first topic it comes is the fission. Under fission, we have 2, that is binary fission. This is shown by amoeba. We are well known about amoeba. This process, that is binary fission, is shown by the organism named amoeba, and including paramecium and the other leishmania. These are the examples of binary fission. If we will be asked the organisms which show the method binary fission for its reproductive cycle, then we will be answering amoeba, paramecium and leishmania. Now, the second method under the fission is multiple fission. Multiple fission, that fission in which a cell divides continuously, and this is shown by the malarial parasite named Plasmodium. The organism which causes malaria in our body is named malarial parasite, and that organism is actually Plasmodium. That organism is actually Plasmodium, and this Plasmodium is a protozoa. This Plasmodium is a protozoa. Now the question can be of two types here. First, which of the following shows multiple fission? Then there will be the answer Plasmodium. And if we will be asked what is the name of the malarial parasite, then also the answer will be the Plasmodium. And the third question arises here that actually Plasmodium is which type of organism? Then our answer will be the protozoa. It is a protozoan. Now we can write here it is a malarial parasite. Malarial parasite. Malarial parasite is that organism which causes malaria in our body. Now we will be seeing that how the fission occurs in an organism, how it works. We will take as an example of amoeba. Now we will be taking a rough diagram of amoeba. This is the rough diagram of amoeba. It divides by this method. First of all, its nucleus is stretched. Its nucleus is stretched. Now it further divides in two parts. The nucleus divides in two parts, and it further divides into two amoeba body. Two amoeba body. This is the method that is under the fission we see in amoeba. Now first of all, the amoeba divides its nucleus, and then its nucleus with its cytoplasmic content, it is divided into two parts. This is the method shown by Leishmania, Plasmodium and amoeba. In fission, we can say in binary fission and in multiple fission. In Plasmodium, the additional process is that in Plasmodium the additional thing is that after dividing into 2, it rapidly divides into 4. It rapidly divides into 4 and then into 8 and then into 16. This continues rapidly, and that's why the process named multiple fission. Now the next process is budding. What is the method budding refers to? Budding, it is generally seen in Hydra and yeast. Hydra and yeast. Now it is somehow this type. It is rough diagram of Hydra. It first of all forms a bud structure. It first of all forms a bud structure, and this bud structure further takes division. This bud structure further takes division when it is totally like the main body. When its content is totally like the main body, then the bud divides from or cuts from the main body and it forms a new structure, or we can say the hydral structure, and this process we say budding. Here the question is which of the following organism shows the method budding? Then our answer will be the Hydra and yeast. Now the third process we have spore formation under asexual reproduction. This spore formation method is shown by generally fungus, and that fungus named example Rhizopus, Rhizopus, and Rhizopus is additionally known as braid mold. It is also known as braid mold, along with albugo, mucor, and penicillium. These all are the examples of organisms that shows the method spore formation. In this process, spore is formed, and from that spore a new organism is formed. And we have here as an example penicillium. What is the specialty of penicillium here is that by the penicillium fungus we got first antibiotic of the world named penicillin. This penicillin is named first antibiotic that has been discovered in the world, and it is extracted from the fungus named penicillium. And this penicillium, or we can say this penicillin, is extracted from fungus penicillium by the scientist named Alexander Fleming. Here three questions can be arise. First is, from which fungus the penicillin is extracted, or we can say first antibiotic is made. Then our answer will be penicillium. And the other question arises is that what is the name given to the first antibiotic of the world? Then our answer will be the penicillin. Next question we will be getting that who discovered the first antibiotic of the world? Then our answer will be the Alexander Fleming. Now the fourth one is regeneration. Regeneration is generally shown by planaria and hydra. And if we will be defining under regeneration, that is true regeneration and false regeneration, as we had studied earlier that hydra shows the budding method. So here in regeneration also it has been kept, because the budding method is generally a type of regeneration method. It is similar in processing, so it can be also said regeneration, but actually hydra shows budding. So here hydra is said it shows false regeneration. And if we will be asked which organism shows true regeneration, then our answer will be planaria, not hydra. Our answer will be planaria. Planaria shows true regeneration. That is, planaria is the only organism which shows actual means of true regeneration. Now the next one is fragmentation. Under fragmentation we will be talking about the organism named Spirogyra. Fragmentation is shown by Spirogyra. And the other organism that shows fragmentation is sea anemone. These two organisms generally shows the method fragmentation. Actually fragmentation and regeneration is correlated with each other. That is, under both the process, the organism, as an example, the organism divides into 2 to 3 parts, and that each part further makes a real organism. That if Spirogyra is dividing, then it will be forming another Spirogyra, and each Spirogyra will be the exact one or actual one. And this method is similar to the regeneration method. In regeneration method is also the same processes takes place. The last method under asexual reproduction is vegetative propagation, and this method is generally shown by our plants. And if we will be talking about the vegetative propagation, we have the example plants, and under plants we will be taking about as an example potato. And vegetative propagation is shown by a special structure that can be said vegetative propagule. That structure is said vegetative propagule. That special structure from which the generation or reproductive cycle starts is said to be vegetative propagule, and every plants or every plants have its own vegetative propagule. As we can say, in potato we generally see eyes, and this eyes structure is the actual reproductive structure in the potato from where the potato generates. That is, under potato we see this type of structures, and this structure is said eyes, and each eyes has capability of its to regenerate, or we can say to produce a potato. Now the other example is money plant. And money plant is generated by a vegetative propagule structure named stem. Money plant generates by its stem. Other example is begonia and bryophyllum. Other example is begonia and bryophyllum. Both of them have a special reproductive, or we can say vegetative propagule structure named leaves. By their leaves only they generate itself. Now other example is ginger, and this ginger is generated by its vegetative propagule structure, and that vegetative propagule structure is named rhizome. That vegetative propagule structure is named rhizome. We studied that potato have its eyes structure, money plant has its stem, begonia and bryophyllum has its leaf, while the ginger have its rhizome. Additionally, we have a structure that is mentioned in our book, that is tuber, and it is also found in the potato. What is actually tuber? Tuber is the storage part, not the generative part. If we will be asked the generative part or the vegetative propagule present in potato, then the answer will be eyes of potato. But if we will be asked the storage part of potato, then our answer will be the tuber. Tuber is actually the storage part of potato. Then we can write here storage part. That's it for this session. We will be further talking about the additional functions that plants uses, or we can say artificial type of reproduction that plants uses for its generation. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and also share with your friends. Thank you.